Welcome to part 3. Today we're going to be covering professionalism. Looking professional is a very important part of the interview process. For one, it shows that this job is important for you. Now, of course, the interviewer is going to want to see that you care about the job interview process. If the interviewer feels like you don't consider the interview process important, you will not get the job. It's just very simple to understand. You want to come across as respectful and professional. Doing so will let the interviewer know that you care about the process. Secondly, it shows that you can take care of yourself. Now, we've all heard the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. And we use it all the time to defend other people or defend ourselves, which is all good and well. I do it all the time. However, in an interview, that phrase, just to be honest, is not going to save you. You will be judged by your cover or how you look in an interview. And there are several logical and reasonable reasons for why the interviewer will judge you by how you are dressed and how professional you look. First, taking care of yourself shows that you pay attention to detail. And additionally, taking care of yourself shows that you spend time on aesthetics, which as a customer service representative, you're going to need to make sure that your speech sounds good, your looks are good in the sense of you're wearing something appropriate, you are focusing on professionalism. And then additionally, taking care of yourself shows that you consider your self-image to be something worth protecting, which in the corporate world is something that's very important. So these interviewers are looking for that in how you are dressed, and specifically taking care of yourself shows those aspects. Thirdly, it shows that you consider yourself successful. Now, yeah, I get it. You may not be a millionaire yet, but the people who become millionaires act like millionaires long before they are millionaires. Now, that doesn't mean that they spend money like a millionaire, but it does mean that they give off this successful air about them. So dressing for success is very important in the interview process. Finally, it shows that you appreciate professionalism. More than just showing that you can dress and act professionally, being able to show that you appreciate professionalism or the very act of being professional will help you better fit the description of a great customer service representative. Dressing and behaving professionally will show the interviewer that looking professional is important to you, job or no job. In this part of the course, we're going to be going over your attire, your behavior, and then balancing confidence with humility. So let's jump right into the attire portion, looking professional. In many cases, you will receive information specifying what to wear for your interview. Now, typically, you will be asked to wear something between business casual and business formal. If you are informed as to what to wear for your interview, then make sure you follow those directions to the T. It never hurts to even dress up a little bit. For example, if they say business casual, wearing a sports jacket or wearing something a little more than business casual, just like a polo shirt and khakis, wearing more than that will come across as you appreciate professionalism more and you just want to look better. So don't go overboard if they ask you to wear business casual and you wear a very formal suit. That might be going a little bit overboard. Or you wear a tux, you're going way overboard. So just taking one step above that is great and it will look good. Going more than that, not so much. Now, if you aren't informed as to what to wear and what is proper attire for that specific interview, then I would strongly recommend that you wear a suit. So go with business formal. If you are female, you will want to wear a dark colored suit. It should be preferably fitted. You want to wear suit pants or a pencil skirt, light colored blouse, black or nude colored heels, and your hair should be up. Now, I don't know why, honestly, this is the case, but studies show that women with their hair up are viewed as more intelligent. I have no idea why that's the case, but that is the case. So take it with a grain of salt. Whatever you think about it, I just want to throw it out there so that you know that this is what's considered the more professional standard in the corporate world. And then if you are male, you will want to wear a dark colored suit coat. Again, it should be preferably fitted. You want to wear a light colored button-up collared shirt. You want to wear a tie, a black or brown business formal shoes. You want to wear a belt, and your hair and or beard should be maintained in a professional way. Now, there are also some things that you should never wear in an interview. Those things are, one, jeans. Never wear jeans. It's not business casual. It's not business formal. It's far below that. So don't wear those. If you don't have anything besides jeans, then you need to go out and get something besides jeans, something that's more formal. It doesn't matter where you get it. It doesn't have to be a very nice brand, but you really can't be wearing jeans to an interview unless the interview says you can wear jeans, which I haven't seen. Then I'd recommend recommend you never wear a t-shirt, never wear sleeveless casual shirts, never wear shorts, never wear seductive clothing. Now, what I mean by this is if you're wearing it purposely to be seductive, then don't wear it. Then don't wear white socks with your dark suit. You want to find a black pair of socks, dark pair of socks, blue pair of socks if you're wearing brown shoes. You don't want to wear tennis shoes, and you don't want to wear open-toe shoes. Well, that covers the attire portion of this part of the course. So now let's go over a little bit about your behavior. We're going to cover a lot more about behavior in part 5 when we cover your physical delivery. A lot of the aspects of having professional behavior come directly from how you present yourself in your physical delivery. So some examples of, and we've talked a little bit about this before, and we will talk a lot more about these things later, is you want to arrive no earlier than 15 minutes, and you don't want to arrive any later than 10 minutes. You want to kind of get there in between that 15-minute and 10-minute block. I talked a little bit about in the last part that if you get there earlier than 15 minutes, it shows that you're not good at managing time. If you get there later than 10 minutes, then, pushing 5 minutes is okay, but you want to try to get there 10 minutes early because it shows that the interview process is important to you. So you want to hit that sweet spot right there between 15 and 10 minutes before your interview. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to greet your interviewer by name. So, for example, if I was your interviewer, you'd walk into the room and you say, "Hi, Mr. Rosa, my name is so-and-so," and then go on with your introduction. So greet your interviewer by name. It shows that you remembered it if you know their name before. If not, then they'll introduce themselves to you, and then you'll want to refer to them by name throughout the process. You want to make sure you stick with Mr. or Mrs., Sir, or Ma'am. You don't want to call them bro, man, or anything like that. That's completely non-professional. Next thing you're also going to want to do is shake your interviewer's hand. We're going to talk a little bit more about shaking hands in part 5 and how to have a professional handshake. We're going to talk more about smiling, maintaining eye contact, and maintaining an open body posture in part 5. A little bit about open body posture, and I talked about this also a bit in the last part, is you want to start assuming that open body posture at the beginning of the day that you're going to have your interview on. So when you wake up in the morning, just start assuming that open body posture. Start keeping your shoulders back, sitting up straight in the chair. You can lean forward a little bit in the chair. Sometimes that will actually help you look more engaged and more interested in what's being said. So, you want to do that because that'll just help you as the day goes on. You're going to be naturally just assuming that posture. You're not going to have to remind yourself because it's hard to remember things in the interview when you're nervous. So start doing it before. Another thing is you want to be organized. So if you're taking anything into the interview, make sure that it looks professional and organized. So, for example, if it's a backpack, you don't want to bring in a Hello Kitty backpack. You want it to be a professional-looking black backpack. Preferably a briefcase, but backpacks are actually coming back into the workplace a little more. So backpacks are great. If you have a purse, it needs to be a dark-colored purse, professional-looking, matching whatever you're wearing. And if it's a briefcase, most briefcases look very professional, so I wouldn't have to worry that much. If you have a briefcase, it's probably fine. For your notepad and pencil, make sure that is not, again, a Hello Kitty notebook with a flowery pencil. It needs to be a professional-looking legal pad and a regular pencil, a regular pen. Again, this probably doesn't need to be mentioned, but don't take your kid to the interview. Get a babysitter, plan ahead of time. Another thing that you want to think about and keep reminding yourself throughout the interview process is you don't want to get flustered. So, for example, if a surprise question comes up or something happens during the interview that you weren't necessarily expecting, the last thing you want to do is get flustered because the professional environment, especially as a customer service representative, if you're dealing with an angry or an irate customer, being able to stay calm and deal with whatever surprise comes up is extremely important. So the interviewer is going to be looking to see that you are able to stay calm throughout the process and you're not going to get flustered. If you don't know, and we're going to talk about this also later in the course, if you honestly don't know the answer to a question, say, I don't know, and then say that you will get back to them on the answer to that question. Say something along the lines of, I don't know the answer to that question at this point, but I will get back to you. Because, I mean, there are certain times, most interviewers won't do this, but there are times where an interviewer will ask you an impossible to answer question that it's just, you can't really come up with a good answer to it. And if you can come up with something humorous or interesting, or you by some miracle know the answer to the question, go ahead and answer it. If not, just say, I don't know, but I'm going to get back to you about that. Because sometimes interviewers are doing that purposely to see how you react. So don't get flustered. Now let's talk a little bit about balancing confidence with humility. Everyone has a certain level of insecurities when they are in a new stressful situation. Thus, it can be hard at times to properly balance being confident with being humble. There are two types of people that react in different ways when they're in stressful situations. There's guy 1 and there's guy 2, as you see on the screen here. Guy 1 gets nervous and gets quiet and timid. His answers to questions are usually too short. Guy 1 feels inadequate and thus responds by coming across with a severe lack of confidence. Guy 2, however, reacts the complete opposite way. Guy 2 gets nervous and reacts by getting very loud and defensive. His answers to questions are very long and self-praising. Guy 2 feels inadequate and responds by coming across as overly confident and cocky. Now, neither Guy 1 nor Guy 2 would act the way they did in the interview in a casual conversation or in a comfortable setting. However, they let their insecurities get the best of them and were unable to come across as confident and yet humble. So how can you balance confidence with humility? Well, it all begins with assessing which type of person you are most able to relate to, Guy 1 or Guy 2. If you are Guy 1, then you should mentally remind yourself of your tendency to come across as timid and quiet. Be confident that you will not say anything stupid or incorrect. You will be a much harder judge on yourself than the interviewer will be on you. You as Guy 2 might feel as if you are playing Russian roulette with each question that comes along. However, relaxing and putting yourself out there more will make you come across as more confident. Now, if you're Guy 2, then you should mentally remind yourself of your tendency to come across as arrogant as the interview approaches. Understand that you do not need to be overly defensive. This is not an interrogation. Relax and be a little vulnerable. You will feel like you're placing your heart on a cutting board, but the interviewer will only see it as a proper balance of confidence and humility. So just keep in mind the proper attire, professional behavior, and balancing confidence with humility as your interview approaches.